Narcissistic psychopaths. There are two types of narcissists, and the difference is crucial according to what new research shows us. In the time when flaunting your best self on social media has now become normal, narcissistic traits seem to be everywhere. In today's slang, off-putting behaviors like entitlement, superiority, self-congratulating are known as flexing. Such traits might be more common these days, but being narcissistic is still seen as a pathological personality trait, akin to being sadistic, manipulative, or even psychopathic. But in 2021, a study of 270 people with a median age of 20 lends more credit to the notion that narcissistic behaviors are not always driven by the same things as psychopathy. Clinical psychologist Pascal Wallisch from New York University, NYU, says, for a long time it was unclear why narcissists engaged in unpleasant behavior such as self-congratulation, as it actually makes others think less of them. Our work reveals that these narcissists are not grandiose, but rather insecure. The psychologist said, more specifically, the results suggest that narcissism is better understood as a compensatory adaptation to overcome and cover up low self-worth. Added clinical psychologist Mary Kowalczyk, also from NYU, psychologists do already distinguish between two rather different types of narcissists: the vulnerable narcissists who have low self-esteem, attachment anxiety, and are highly sensitive to criticism. And then there are the grandiose narcissists who have high self-esteem and self-aggrandizement. Kowalczyk and team used a series of measures to assess the levels of different traits, including narcissism, self-esteem, and psychopathy for each of their participants, and found that flexing behavior is strongly associated with individuals who also have high insecurities and sense of guilt. Those exhibiting psychopathy showed relative low levels of guilt. Kowalczyk said narcissists are insecure, and they cope with these insecurities by flexing. This makes others like them less in the long run, thus further aggravating their insecurities, which then leads to a vicious cycle of flexing behaviors. This is in contrast to individuals that exhibit grandiose narcissism, who genuinely believe in their own self-importance and do not display signs of insecurity. To the researchers, the difference between the two goes further than just a category distinction. This is what the team wrote in their paper. They said, we posit that what was previously seen as grandiose narcissism is actually better understood as one behavioral manifestation of psychopathy. They acknowledge further research is needed in a more diverse population across larger timescales to validate their results. But with these new findings aligned with a small study from 2017 in which a narcissistic men's brain scans reveals emotional distress and conflict when they were shown a photo of themselves. In fact, there have been conflicting studies around whether narcissists do or do not like themselves. By defining the two types of narcissism more precisely, we can arrive at a better understanding of their behaviors, since both types of narcissists may also cause real harm to people around them in the form of narcissistic abuse. Pathology aside, narcissistic traits, also thought to be fueled by the increased focus on individualism, can be seen reflected in our society through the ways we write with more I than we, more self-focused lyrics in our songs, and a shift towards stories based around fame. Researchers have measured these shifts too. For instance, endorsement rates for the statements "I am an important person" have increased from 12 to 80% in adolescents between 1963 to 1992. Furthermore, flaunting ourselves on social media is something many of us participate in, collectively forming and feeding insecurities about not fitting in. These behaviors are hardwired into us as an obligatory social species, while narcissists are notoriously great at using social media. Whether social media can increase narcissism has been less conclusive, but the new paper suggests that an increase in such behaviors, specifically self-elevation, makes sense within the framework we propose here, as engaging with social media inherently inflicts constant social comparison and appraisal, which could exacerbate insecurities about self-worth. So next time you're ready to dismiss someone's boastful behavior as self-importance, it might be worth considering that they're just insecure. This was published in Personality and Individual Differences, first published April 2021, and it's on Science Alert by Tessa Koumoudos. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.